allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, we pray that you grant wisdom to all who are in authority, that order and justice may be upheld to the benefit of all citizens, and guide us to better serve the people of our community. Restrain those who seek to destroy our government. We ask your divine wisdom to rest upon our leaders to guide them and protect us.
For the record, Mr. Toussaint is not here tonight. He's on vacation. Any public input? I don't see any public. Now we'll bring him up with the department heads.
Okay.
Who wants the minutes, April 18th, 2022? Motion approved.
So moved.
Motion.
Second.
Who was the second?
I said all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Okay. Approval bill payment of May 2nd, 2022, voucher number 202-11367 through 2022-0638, total amount of $100,124.93. I have a motion to pay the bills.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion to second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Bills are paid. Highway Department, Paul Sigmund.
It's a couple things. We started doing road work in Burkeville. We're gonna finish up our last two roads on the north side and do one road on the south side. We're widening. It's got a lot of stuff in blacktop this year. I don't think we can get it all in. I do have one thing, and I don't know if you want me to bring this up now, but St. John's Fire Company approached me for their 1939 guarantee, their anti-fire truck. They need to get it rewired. They had a little fire in the fire truck. So it's gotta go out to Lancaster, and they're afraid to drive it out that far. They were wondering if we could haul it out there for them on our lowboy. I said it wouldn't be a problem, but I wanted the approval from the board before I did that.
I'll make the motion. Motion is second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. That's all I got. Unless you guys have any questions for me.
I think we're all set. Rich Donner, water truck.
Last week, we did some repairs at night on Niagara Falls Boulevard. Still got a couple issues with some valves. We took one valve apart and put a blank over top of the valve housing and such on it, so we could turn the water back on, but we're having to get parts made for the valves. Nobody's got the parts. They're obsolete. That's the best thing. Even the manufacturer that bought out the manufacturer that and said, if you can send me the parts, I can make them. Can probably get them made locally, you're saying. So we're working on that. We're gonna have to shut down the water line at night again some other time to put things back together on the valve itself that we tore apart. Saturday, I don't know about Lockport Road, that straight road, they gotta put some curves in it or something because somebody took out another one of my hydrants Saturday afternoon in the sunshine, so. I guess straight roads isn't the answer because they're still hitting them. We got a pole and a hydrant.
Do you bill them for all the overtime? I know you.
I do.
For all their.
Yep, that's included in the bill that goes to the insurance company.
When I drove by, I saw a lot of trucks there. 2 or 3 a year, but anyhow.
Yeah, I bill them out for the overtime on it and bill them out for the flat rate time also. We've been pretty good on getting reimbursements out of the insurance companies. I had to fight with the one quite a bit on the one hydrant, but we did get paid for it. Also, we'd like permission to throw out the bids for the water tank construction job and to rebid it again. According to Ed, because of the amount, we do have to have sealed bids turned in on that, so we'll have to recontact the people that bid and go from there.
Isn't there a motion, Ted?
No.
No, I wasn't aware of that. Okay, I'll make a motion to rebid the necessary repairs for the water tower and their first motion to not accept any of those, that first bid, and then the rebid.
So, I guess the first motion would be.
We need a sound system, not new cameras in here.
Not accept the bids submitted, and the second resolution was, we want to, yeah. Okay, and the second would be to rebid the repairs of the water tower specified by a water supply.
Are we doing these one at a time or both
Yeah,
together?
give them one at a time.
I'll make a second to Ted's first motion to continue to reject all bids.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. And my second bid was to rebid, under the same specifications for the water department as directed by the water supply.
Do we have to put a deadline for when the bids need to be in by?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so either we can do it next meeting or 2 meetings from now, and we're gonna have to get it published again, Kathy, and we'll have to change the dates around on it.
2 weeks would be enough time?
It'll be close.
Well, I mean, if we go 2 weeks, so if we're looking now at the first meeting in June, correct?
That would be,
Well, May 16th is the next one, right?
Yeah, but he doesn't have the time. So if we go, yeah.
June 6th would be the,
Yeah.
I think we're better off going to June 6th and get a hold of
We'll go
everybody.
June 6th, bid opening, what time and where, at your office?
Open them right here at the meeting, 7 o'clock.
20 Church Road, could we do it right that day, if that's okay for you?
We'll do it right, like we did last time, right before the meeting at 7 PM.
Is that okay?
Sounds good to me.
Anything else, Rich?
Other than that, Friday afternoon, we spent, I got a contact with National Grid. Our pump station on Williams Road dropped a leg out that's a 3-phase setup, and one of the phases dropped out, so we were lucky that we got a generator at that facility. It did take care of the issue, but, usually when you call the utilities, you get a little hassle. They were there within 45 minutes, and it took them a couple hours to make the complete repair, and got us back in service on a Friday afternoon, so I was happy. The raccoon that was dead laying under the pole, he wasn't so happy. That's all I got.
Okay, thank you, Rich. And Mike Rinaldi is off on a personal matter tonight. Mike Clocker, voting, sir.
They won't be. Good evening. There you go. Real quick, in front of you, I have the latest Knox box quote, and as we started talking to a couple of the board members earlier, this is to replace the current system, which is more of a manual system that the fire companies have been using. What it represents is to replace all of the equipment that's currently on the trucks, to upgrade them to the electronic cloud-based service. Currently, we use a radio control out in Ivory County that will tone in when they respond to a call, allows rapid entry into these buildings. What's happened in the past now is that the system, I was mistaken, that program's about 20 years old itself, not ours that are alone. But, so the equipment itself is not being made anymore. Parts are gone, nobody can get them fixed. So, a couple of the fire companies have vehicles that they can't even access with the keys now for these buildings. The rapid access, obviously, is to get there, open them up without damaging the structures to get in. So, I've asked that Knox come in and they gave us a proposal on the new equipment, which again is all cloud-based electronic, keyless type of entry. So the proposal here with our discount, it's all 30 pieces of equipment that we'll have to update. Instead of like piecemealing each company and paying $1,000 here or $5,000 there for each truck, it's all in this bid. And it also includes 1 year service of the cloud-based monitoring system. So and if you look at the breakdown, there's the cost of the unit itself, there's the bracket, that doesn't come with it. And then again, the service itself.
How about installation, who installs it?
They do it, the companies themselves will install them. Yeah, it's incorporated in that amount for the yearly, fee.
Mike, did Knox give you any indication as to how soon this is or when it's approved, and when they would do it?
Ralph explained that as soon as it was approved, he could put it in motion, so the equipment is available.
Because there is a certain liability here too, with some of the boxes not functioning whatsoever.
Yeah, and one particular, company that's running the problems is Adams, and, you know, half their equipment is inoperable at this point. So that's a real problem.
And it's my understanding too, Ed, that we do have the COVID money which we can use for this, correct?
That is correct.
So, I think that's a good use, and Wheatfield is the sponsor for the Knox boxes. So I think it's something we'll have to do. We could probably do a late resolution tonight, or we could rather do it as drawn up using.
If it's an emergency, you could do it tonight, but you should specify that the funding source will be the ARPA funds.
We have another meeting coming up this month yet. So why don't we do that, and then we'll get the verbiage correct, and then we'll go from there.
And what I'll do too is I'll contact them. I'll contact Knox and let them know what we're doing for the meeting, and let them make it start putting it in motion.
Have you contacted Adams at all?
We want to present this first, so I will contact Mr. Lauer and explain what we're doing, Chief Lauer. Yes.
We got some questions over here. So on the cloud license, it looks like we get 21 licenses. It's, I think that's the annual fee we're talking about.
Correct.
The, 2,189. So we have to pay that every year, right?
That's an annual fee, yes.
So Larry was just asking, what if we?
Do they have some discounts if you buy like 3 years out of the gate?
That I'm not sure of, but I can ask that question.
So sometimes with software, if you buy a larger number of years, it's $2,000 a year roughly. Sometimes you get 3 years maybe for $5,000 instead of $6,000 if you. And that'll tell us if we're saving money doing it. If we're not, we don't have to, but.
Originally, when the presentation came in, it was based on the number of units too, so there was like 1 to 5, 5 to 10, and then after a certain point, maximum, so you don't pay any more than that based on the number of users. But I'll ask about the terms as far as number of years.
Were we paying like an annual license fee?
No, we weren't, because these were manual units, and then we were.
We'll have to make sure that that's in the budget every year.
And as Mike said, the previous units were all manual, they really were involved. Now they've made themselves involved, so they'll make money on its own. That's the way it is, nature of the beast.
But the idea to turn around and do it all at once made more sense than try to piecemeal this together and have one company operating with this system, and because it does require that all the new units, the boxes themselves will be able to handle the exchange going from manual to the keyless.
I think everybody agrees with that. Thank you.
Very good.
I know you have to go, but anybody have any questions for Mike?
Thanks, guys.
Town Assessor, Kelly.
Hello. No. So I turned in tentative roll a couple weeks ago, I guess before I went on vacation. So tentative rolls turned in. I sent out 217 change of assessment notices. Knock on wood, haven't gotten many phone calls on complaints about them yet, so I think it's pretty self-explanatory and no one's really having issues. And that's about it in the assessor's office.
I did, run on board before you guys
Okay, yeah, I did start creating a list. I think there's like 37 parcels just from this year alone that I can do that for.
That only makes sense.
Okay. Yep.
Michael, Tim Zuber.
Microphone over here now. Good evening. We have two things on our agenda for you this evening. The first is the PAP application for the Whistling Straits subdivision. You've heard us talk about this one a couple times over the recent years. This subdivision was originally approved in October of 2011. In February of 2020, they came back in with revised plans to bring them up to town standards because they had never started on the subdivision. And then most recently on St. Patrick's Day of this year, they revised the plan set yet again to raise the sewer, so they're not doing a lot of bedrock excavation. And those are the plans that they are now proposing to go to construction with. So we have the PIP applications in, we have motions for that tonight in our packet. Again, they are actually going to be constructing this whole subdivision at once, so there won't be any temporary turnarounds, there won't be any phase lines, and we've specified in our letter, as we had talked about previously, about that all the construction access will be from Ward Road. So, we have a motion for that in the packet. Is there any questions on that subdivision from anybody tonight?
Well, after they get going a little bit, they're gonna want to do model homes. When can they officially say, I wanna build a model home before someone's ready to even occupy, because the streets aren't done yet?
Yeah, they can't.
Larry, though, we have for years, once the street is in, even though it hasn't been dedicated, the town may issue not only for once we just limit it to 2 or 3, provided that no certificate of occupancy is issued, until such time as the road and utility being dedicated to the town.
It's gotta be pretty late in the game before they can start.
It's not like.
Yeah, with no phases, I mean, you got a one-phase subdivision, sometimes you got multiple phases, and they'll want a model home in the next phase, which is adjacent to the old phase, so kind of seamless, but this seems like it's gotta be pretty.
I would imagine, like, even though there's no phases, they'll probably try and develop and sell homes closer to the road, just to, even though they put down infrastructure.
There are actually a couple of roadside lots on this, I believe there's a couple on Hoover, and there's 3 or 4, maybe 5 on Lockport Road, that front Lockport Road. But, you know, they have to get, some of their basic drainage in and their retention pond down in the southeast corner. So they have to do that, they have to do a loaner F to bring that out of the floodplain before they can then take their pond out of it, so yeah, it's a floodplain issue they have to address. So, I don't think this is gonna be a quick one, but, I am happy that they're doing it all at once, because then we don't have to deal with any.
I've never seen it before.
One more dumb question. So there's gonna be a lighting district. How many houses are they building?
I believe it's 41, right?
Okay, so there's 41 houses, and you maybe have 5 houses that are not on the inner core of that subdivision. So these, you got houses that are in Hoover, houses that are on Ward Road. Do those houses have to pay for the lighting district, even though they're not benefiting from it? Our assessor's saying yes.
I would think so.
If I lived on Hoover Road and had to pay for lights on Whistling Straits, I'm gonna say, why do I have to pay for
I'm
lights?
just saying, I mean, I'm fairly new to the lighting district thing, but just for the example that I was explaining earlier, I went and did the final C of O inspection with the building department on Friday for Schultz Road. But that Schultz Road address is part of the Ashwood subdivision, and they pay the Ashwood lighting district. So yes, I think those outside houses, yes, would have to be a part of it because they're being created in that subdivision.
If it's part of a subdivision, the subdivisions are required to have lighting districts now, so it includes all the homes.
So
So
it
you
would
get
be,
your first complaint, why do I have to pay for a lighting district on Ward Road when I'm not in Whistling Straits?
Now we have to complain.
No, they see the town board, they pass the law.
I can blame it on the town attorney and our assessor.
No, I'm done.
So I only had one other quick thing on our agenda, and that's just, to schedule your favorite stormwater 10 minutes of public information meeting for our next, meetings. We go through our, quickly go through our annual report.
When are you gonna do that, Tim?
We have one, it really needs to be before the end of June, so for our next meeting, time is up to you guys, but the date is pretty important. So, it's a motion in the packet, if there's any questions on it, just let me know. Thank you. Okay, there's one more thing, just Ricky didn't mention it, but back in November, we did a drawdown test on the, pump station number 4 on Town Line Road. It's a duplex pump station that's there. And we got some results that seemed a little bit lower than what we were expecting. I wanna say 104 and 120 gallons per minute is what these pumps were pumping at. So, working with Rich, we worked to get that line picked out, and they just picked it out recently, beginning of last week, right? And I guess they got a bucket or two of gravel and stone out of this force main. So now that they've completed that, we did another drawdown test, and it's pumping at 177, 175 gallons per minute. So it's back up to what the design speed, the design rate is, so it's a substantial improvement for that one station. So it's something that Rich has been working on.
Town contact.
I'd like to drop off two things for the first one to look at.
Yeah.
Both sides, and this, pass them down if you would. For the Wheatfield Veterans Memorial Committee, each year we have been thinking in terms of putting on a presentation that comes from the committee, and I believe that to be only right that we should do something for the town each year, in addition to the memorial last year. Last year we did the dedication, which worked out real well. Now, a lot of people were here. Many of you were at the dedication last year. This year, the committee is going to put on, and I'm looking not for a resolution or anything tonight, but just for your blessing, we're going to put on July 2nd, the first military vehicle show. We're working with a group, an outside group called KIA, and they are really a club. They're not so much an organized group as I would like them to be, or as maybe they should be, but it's a club. Very much like the car club or something like that. And they will be providing 6 vehicles for us, of which some are on those pictures. And a couple of those, especially the Wrecker, has been here a couple of times for our Memorial Day and also for Veterans Day. It's been parked out here. These are all licensed, roadworthy. They will all drive here just like a bus or a car or anybody else would drive here. And the idea there is we're trying to bring something to the town for, especially the children. I know sometimes that's an overused item, the children all the time, but in this case, we want to introduce them to our military. We want people who have rebuilt these vehicles to be by their vehicle and tell the kids, tell their parents, what this is, how does the military use it. And I think that'll be a real good thing for the town of Wheatfield. We do intend to do this on a yearly basis, right? Either change it around or make it a little bit bigger. We have an associate which was going to be here with us that is up in Canada, in Ontario. However, they had a very unfortunate fire in one of their barns where their vehicles are, so they will not be able to participate. But perhaps next year they will be able to bring 2 or 3 of their vehicles, Canadian vintage, which are somewhat different than U.S. vintage vehicles. And perhaps we can jointly do something like that next year. So again, I brought a couple of pictures for anybody who hasn't seen those vehicles here. And again, just looking for your blessing to move forward with this. This will be July 2nd, which is this Saturday. We want to do it from 10 a.m. till 2, and I would say 2-ish. Because it's probably going to lag over a little bit. 4th of July is Monday, so that's why we're working on the 2nd. Right? We're working on the 2nd, and as I have mentioned before in other conversations, most of the military that we are working with is going to be tied together with some kind of a holiday. So I hope nobody looks at it and says, well, it's 4th of July weekend. Well, everything we do is going to be on some kind of a holiday weekend. It's just the nature of the beast. So with that, I wanted to inform everybody, let you know where we're going. We'll keep everybody informed as this develops. We have a short window, July 2nd. Seems like it's around the corner. But nevertheless, we will prevail.
Okay, we talked about this today, Tom, and after you and I talked, I'm wondering if we take a motion from the board, only because they'll be using the facilities, including the restrooms, to allow the, to use the facilities, the restrooms, the pavilions, et cetera.
Okay. And we would ask that the constables, are also on site, because they've done, in the past, they've done a really great job, I think a great job of patrolling the traffic.
So should we put it for motion?
Yeah, I mean, a motion would be fine to make sure that it's properly
We're gonna use
authorized.
our facilities, so.
Yeah.
Okay, Tom?
Yes.
We'll might as well do it now. I'll make a motion to allow, the military
Vehicle show,
vehicle show on July 2nd.
10 till 2.
I'm sorry?
10 till 2.
10 till 2. I don't think the times is
Okay.
only because of, they may stay longer or come early. What is that sufficient, Matt, to allow the,
I believe so.
so I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Okay, a motion second, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Right.
Thank you, one and all, and please, everybody, if you can show up, please show up. You're all invited, as always.
Opposed?
I don't think
All in
so.
favor signify by saying aye. We're all good, yes? All right. Thank you, Tom. Motions, Matt Brooks.
Okay, first motion from Wendell, as Tim mentioned, motion to approve the PIP applications for construction of pavement curbs, water lines, sanitary sewers, and storm sewers for the Whistling Straits subdivision. The subdivision will provide a total of 41 single-family residential lots, lot 1 through 41. This approval is made with the following conditions, and those conditions are as listed in the motion package.
Motion, please.
Moved.
Who was that?
Kurt.
Have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion again from Wendell, as Tim mentioned, to schedule a public information meeting on Monday, May 16, 2022, at a time for the board to choose to review the town's draft stormwater annual report for 2021 and the town's stormwater management plan.
I'll make the motion. Is 10 minutes enough or 15 minutes?
Yeah, 10 minutes.
At 6:50 PM on the 16th. I'll make the motion.
Second. Motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion from the budget director, approve an amendment to the 2022 highway fund budget to provide estimated revenue and budget appropriation for the increase in the New York State CHIPS grant for extreme winter recovery, pave New York and pave our potholes, to be used for additional highway street repairs as follows, and that says in the motion package.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion from the highway department to hire Nathan Orlerkowitz as summer seasonal help for the highway department at a rate of pay and terms pursuant to the job specifications of the highway department's seasonal help and pending approval of human resources and an Iron County criminal background check.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Second.
And a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Again, next motion from the highway department, resolution to approve the request of the board of directors of the Eagle Lake Homeowners Association to remove the island that it must maintain at Levelland Road, which is supported by Paul Siegman, our highway superintendent, as he agrees with the association. The current island greatly hampers the ability of large vehicles to enter and exit without causing damage and ruts. This resolution also authorizes the highway department to remove and take over said island.
Motion, please.
I'll make the motion.
Second. And a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion from the rec department to hire Matt Jellin as summer seasonal help, a park guard at a rate of pay in terms pursuant to the job specifications of the recreation department seasonal help and pending approval of human resources and an Iron County criminal background check.
So moved.
Second. And a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion, be resolved to accept and authorize Don McSwan, our town supervisor, to execute a host community benefit agreement with the town of Wheatfield and CVE US E13 Wheatfield LLC.
CBE, to establish a 20-year host community benefit agreement starting upon commercial operation at $2,000 per megawatt with a 2% annual increase with an estimated initial amount an estimated initial annual payment of $8,000 or $4,000 per megawatt with a 2,000 annual increase with an estimated initial annual payment of $16,000 with no school taxes to be paid on the solar project relating to the premises at 3635 Lockport Road, North Tonawanda, SBL number 134.00-3-12 in the town of Wheatfield, Niagara County, New York.
Second on the question. So Matt, we tried doing this one earlier, was it back in February?
I think March.
March, okay. March. And the numbers are a lot better now. What were the numbers before?
Well, initially, it was thought that there was going to be a pilot with Niagara County IDA. I think over the weekend there came out an article in the Buffalo News and the local papers that Niagara County IDA was no longer doing pilots for solar. So, and we had this scheduled for that Monday. There was a flurry of activity based on that revelation. I spoke to Drew Riley. He indicated that that's the case. That means, in his opinion, the school district was not going to be paying getting taxes paid, that we should be getting a larger share. We went back and forth with the CBE, had the assessor involved, had Wendell involved. I called several other town attorneys, and basically there was a lot of confusion as to how this is going to operate because this new law is brand new. And additionally, the state came out with a model assessment, a policy or theory as to how assessors should assess these types of projects. In fact, just I think last week, and I talked to it with Kelly, there was an injunction by a Supreme Court in Albany that says that that model may not be legal at this point. So there's a lot of question if there will be school tax being paid. Now, the CBE says they're going to pay it, but if it's not required, I doubt they're going to pay it. So the way we negotiated is the base amount, we improved it from $1,750 per megawatt to $2,000. And if there is no school tax to be paid, it will be $4,000 instead. So rather than hold up the project, we put in a contingency plan that it will be $2,000 or $4,000 depending on whether they get a tax bill from the school district. So it covers it. Either way, we'll get either 2 or 4, depending on what's fair.
And we had a motion for something. All in favor, signify, by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And lastly, there was a supplemental motion came in from the rec department to hire Connor Bradendick, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, for the youth center at a rate of pay and terms pursuant to the job specifications of the Recreation Department's seasonal help pending approval of human resources and an Niagara County criminal background check.
I'll make the second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, and I have no other motions.
Thank you, ma'am. Board members, Larry Howard.
Just one item I mentioned last board meeting about the Cub Scout Liberty Drive cleanup this Saturday. Starts at 9 o'clock. We got 2 packs doing it, 8:33 out of Adams, and I don't remember if it's 8:24 out of Cambria. Yeah. Sanborn. And so we're going to have quite a few scouts out there. Precious Plate, this will be almost 3 years since we did it. We've been doing this cleanup project for 30 years. We missed 2 years because of COVID, but this is their 30th year doing it. And Precious Plate is going to basically be sponsoring it. They're one of the businesses, one of the better, bigger businesses on Liberty Drive. But they're going to supply donuts, gloves, safety vests, garbage bags. What do you need? You need anything special for that day, man? Usually the town board members and other people, we bring the donuts and we bring the gloves and stuff, but precious plate, so they want to step up to the plate and sponsor this, and at the end of it, like they did 2 years ago, or 3 years ago now, they give a donation to the scouts, like, I don't know how much, I didn't get into monetary, but they give a sizable donation to both troops for that. Yeah.
Are they gonna hit Colvin too? If you have enough of them?
I don't know, we're not with Boy Scouts, we're with Cub Scouts. And Liberty Drive kind of not a real trafficy road, and I've got all I can do just to keep them on that road. I know, supervisor, you get complaints of that being dumped on, but, and the sewer treatment plant's gonna put their dumpster out so that we can use it. Most years we've had a highway vehicle or but I don't even know if were you planning on having someone from highway come or no?
Not unless you ask for it.
I didn't ask for it.
But we had a small dump truck the last time,
Yeah.
and we actually worked out well. You just stay on a small dump.
If I can get somebody over there that day, I can't do it that Saturday.
Yeah.
What's that?
May 7th, it's this Saturday. Would be a nice day too.
Well, there, you can drive that truck, it's not like it's not very big.
I'm in my class,
You don't live with it. Right?
What's that?
You would trust Larry in your dump truck?
I got insurance.
A small dump, it's not as big as a pickup.
what am I supposed to do with it?
Load it up.
They seem to just park there on Friday,
The dump truck?
that's somebody's parking lot, is a fire hall maybe?
Yeah.
What are you gonna load, you got a skid steer or a loader, or what are you just gonna?
No, they just throw the garbage
They
back.
throw the garbage bags and stuff in the back, and then we pull up to the dumpster at the sewer plant and except the tires, we can't put it in the dumpster, we usually leave the tires in the highway.
But dude, you got your pickup truck, Larry, you can just use that.
There you go, it's a little lower, you can throw it in.
2021 brand new Chevy Silverado,
Mhm.
I'm gonna load up with trash.
Yeah, but just think you don't have to buy donuts anymore, you can use your truck instead.
Larry usually takes his load on so many, so.
Well, let me know whether you want it and where you want it.
I'll let you know if we need it.
Just drop it off at your house.
It doesn't look like there's that much, I mean, we're gonna have a few bags to pick up and throw in there, but I don't know that we're gonna get.
It's not as bad as it was other years as far as I can tell.
I was surprised, when I was there last week when we walked the greenway, by the way.
Yeah. And I don't know who cut that one corner down, but since they brush hogged that one corner clean, and the visibility, and people can see coming around that corner now, so they're not dumping like they used to.
I think Forest City, whoever owns it, was the one that did it, 'cause we didn't cut it back that far.
I know. I'll let you know if I need a truck, but I probably need a truck. I know. I'll see you Saturday.
What else you got?
That's it.
Bill Rosetta's not here tonight. Kurt Knox,
Nothing tonight.
thank you, Kurt Brandon.
Hey, I got a question, Rich, maybe you can answer me.
Yes,
About
sir.
these Knox boxes, and then I can ask you, but I'm just gonna ask it out loud. I guess as I know, the Knox boxes are always on a building, right?
Well, the boxes are on the building. The keys for the Knox boxes, though, are in the fire trucks in a separate Knox box unit.
So you have the ability, you get 30, is that 30 units that have the ability to open that Knox box electronically? Is that how that's gonna work?
I don't know how this new system's gonna work. Right now, when the county hits the tones out, it opens the box that's in the fire truck so we can get the key out to open the ones in the building.
And the fact is, none of them are working on, most of them are not working, all malfunctioning.
So we're getting 30 units, so you got 5 fire companies, so you just get like 6 of these units? That you're gonna be able to drive up to a fire at the town hall, set a signal and open this Knox box? Is that how that's gonna work?
It's supposed to go through a cloud.
I don't know.
I guess that would have been a question for Mike, and I think of a Knox box being on a building, which it is. But, okay, I just sitting here looking at this.
These are all electronic now.
Randy, I think maybe what you're thinking of, you're wondering why the key is locked up inside the fire truck?
Well, we're getting 30 units. Where are these 30 units going?
One in each fire vehicle.
One in each fire vehicle, and the chief's
So
car.
so like 6 for Johnsburg.
5.
It varies. We had a meeting with
Okay.
all the chiefs, and I think Adams gets more than, pretty equal to Johnsburg. I think County gets less, Frontier gets less, I believe. It's close, but not everybody gets the same amount.
So you pull up, push a button on your dash, and that opens the Knox box.
Supposedly.
Okay. That was all.
Anything else? Sir?
No, that's it.
Okay, Don, next one. Just a reminder, May 9th, the boulevard will be closed for 3 days, we hope. Also, we had a home defense class last week. It was a small audience, but it was a very good class. If anybody has the chance to go to the fall class, I would recommend it. There were some new things that have changed in New York State law related to home protection that were changed in 2022 or 2021 that none of us were aware of. So protecting yourself in your home, benefit the home. So it was a good class, and I'm hoping we can do it again in the fall, as well as they want to schedule a pistol permit class sometime over the summer, so that'd be nice too. About a week and a half ago, myself, Greg Stevens from the Greenway Committee, and DOT walked the proposed Greenway Trail at Williams Road and came out to Liberty. And believe it or not, that trail is almost done. What I mean by that is we walked that trail with no problem at all. And even the state was surprised to see the kind of condition that it was in. It would take very little to accomplish that section. Possibly put a parking lot at Liberty Drive and also at Williams Road, which would then connect, for a place to park and just walk. It's a beautiful trail. It's really quite nice, and in fact, if you remember, Larry, I think you were at the meeting, it comes right to Frontier Fire Company, and they had offered at the time to use their pavilion in the camping areas, and you could literally walk right there. And the state, when we met with them, their feeling was it would be something to at least get that section done. And then we still have some issues, there's a little piece of CSX property, which they're trying to not use. That's down a little bit further. We walked the whole thing, but my point is from Liberty to Williams, which would interconnect to Niagara Falls then, could be done very easily at very little cost. So I was surprised, DOT was surprised, and the Greenway people were surprised that it's basically, I won't say shovel ready, but high and dry. You know how wet it's been. And it's the old railroad, by the way, because of the height. He said, the problem is I asked if we could, like when they did the boulevard job, if we could have those millings. I don't know, maybe you can correct me, but they said the problem with millings is if they sit for any length of time, they get hard as a rock and very hard to break out. So I don't know if that's true.
They find out, but you break them, take equipment, you break them right down.
But anyway, I just thought we could stockpile millings. And if you look at the parking lot at the restaurant, was the Waffle House, a lot of that parking lot is on state property, state right away. That we could stockpile millings right there. So something we're looking into. That was a really good walk around. I'm glad we did. The distance from Liberty to Whitman Road, not so good. Much thicker. That's going to take some more.
From where now? From Liberty?
From Liberty to Whitmer.
Whitmer, okay.
That was
north down the line.
But from Liberty to Williams Road, and the other thing is too, the Greenway people, the water keepers, would like to take Wheatfield's property on the other side of River Road, put that into a park and a fishing location. So that will tie into the Liberty Drive and to Williams Road, and then that little piece of property, the little 5-acre piece, right there will become a fishing. So that would be nice at least to get that stuff. So we'll see. I'm going to get back to it. I don't know when, but.
Now, who's gonna do that? They're gonna bid that out? DOT's gonna bid it out?
Yeah. And the fact is, Randy, I was surprised. You can walk in there now with a trail wide enough on the driveway.
Well, we're gonna give them millings, and they're gonna incorporate that in their bid, or I mean.
Well, no, what they were looking at is boulevard job coming up next year.
Yeah.
Having millings all over there in stockpile to use for the project. So we'll see how it flies, but it'd be nice to have something there. Anyway, so that's all I have. And there's no public input tonight. Our next meeting is May 16th at 7 o'clock. We actually have, you scheduled at 6:45.
6:50, yeah.
Okay. And I need a motion to adjourn, guys.
Okay.
We always do the same thing, right? Okay, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you for coming.
Yes.